A important WrestleMania 41 match is in danger of being removed from the card or completely changed. We're going to talk about that. Some really crazy news surrounding that story. Also, WWE is gearing up for another return. The other day, we talked about it being Rusev. That's not the case today. Maybe my theory is right. And then we do got to talk about WrestleMania in the UK. Ladies and gentlemen, it's officially WrestleMania Day. Welcome to the Ango Show. All right, guys, so I want to kick things off with WrestleMania UK. I figured this would be really fitting to talk about, considering there's been so much talk about this in the past. Now, in a new interview with Daily Mail, Triple H has addressed the potential possibilities of WWE doing an international WrestleMania, and he says that the company's goal is to bring WrestleMania to the best places possible. He says it's like the Super Bowl, so the process of that going other places, people just don't understand the logistics of what it takes. He says, just going to Las Vegas, I can't tell you the logistical effort that it took. They'll be in the market for a week setting up the set, people on the ground running stuff. So when that becomes international, the logistics become even harder. That's the challenge, but we are up for the challenge. Now, this is obviously a really big deal because, as you guys know, WrestleMania 42 is not taking place at Wembley Stadium. And for a while, it actually seemed like that was the potential plan, right? John Cena, The Rock, so many people in the WWE have actually teased this possibility, and it hasn't happened yet. Now, personally speaking, I do think we are going to get an international WrestleMania. I do genuinely believe it will happen within the next 5 years. Now, where it happens, I think might be the talking point, because I do think there is this plan to bring WrestleMania to the UK. I do think they will bring WrestleMania to Saudi Arabia. I think that is very clear. And they're already doing that with the Royal Rumble, right? So for WWE, the way I look at them long term, they will be able to figure out the logistics of doing a WrestleMania internationally. I think the demand has to be there. And quite frankly, I think fans really need to speak up on it. If fans speak up on it and they really make their intentions known, like they really want this, WWE will listen to the fans. I don't think there is any argument about that. I think WWE will truly listen to the fans. However, when they go international, for example, we've seen them show up. We've seen them do Puerto Rico. We've seen them do France. We've seen them do the UK. The crowd matters, the merchandise sales matter, the ticket sales matter. Those are clear indications as to whether or not there's interest. And I think WWE, realistically, before they do any other international show, I think the UK has to be the first WrestleMania. And the thing is, what's cool is, for tourism, it makes a lot of sense. I think for a lot of WWE talent, a lot of fans as well, I think making the travel to the UK isn't as hard. Of course, Triple H is right about the logistics of setting up the show, but I think it could be done. It should be done, and hopefully it will be done. All right, guys, let's talk about it. Becky Lynch is set for an imminent return. Maybe my theory is right. I'm going to explain to you guys my theory in case you guys haven't been paying attention for the last few months. PWInsider.com has reported that the belief among those that they've heard from this week is that Becky Lynch is expected very soon on television, perhaps as soon as a big angle at WrestleMania this weekend. Now, obviously, we haven't seen her since May 2024. We've seen her do a whole bunch of stuff with WWE. You know, being an ambassador for WWE. We've seen her pop up at improv shows. We've been talking about this, and that's great. And I'm excited. I'm happy about that. Great. Becky Lynch has been off of TV and still been active. She re-signed with the company. All great news. However, I am not a fan of Becky Lynch being a babyface in WWE. I am not. I'm over it. Simple as that. I think some people will disagree with me, and that's completely fine. I have no problem with that. But I'm going to put this out there. And I have put this out there for about a month or two. Since I was talking about Seth Rollins walking out with Paul Heyman, who's to say that Becky Lynch doesn't either? Becky and Seth both got stale with their babyface gimmicks. And I think Becky being a heel would be great. I think it would be amazing. And I think WWE can really change things up by putting her and Seth Rollins in a heel group with Paul Heyman. Do I think that 100% happens? No, but it's a theory. I think WWE would be smart enough to try and experiment here because clearly, what would be the issue? What would be the reason not to, right? That's the thing. You might as well do it. There's a lot of great, talented women on the women's roster, and I think deep down inside, there's a lot of great up-and-coming baby faces. Becky Lynch as a babyface kind of got stale. I would have her return at WrestleMania and help Seth Rollins walk out with Seth and Paul Heyman. That's probably not going to happen, but... And many of you guys probably might not even like that idea. I know that JD and Santi Zop didn't like that either. But that's just kind of the way it is, man. I think this is the time to be different and try different things. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think WWE and AEW should always try to be different and try to do things that they typically wouldn't do. Take risk. Change things up. Let these characters get a character change. Do things that people don't see coming. I think there's a lot of great results that could come from it. And I think with Becky being off of TV for so long, she'll get that massive babyface reaction for coming out. And then once she cements the heel turn, that would be huge. So to me personally, that's what I would like to see. That's kind of how I envision everything moving forward. But Becky Lynch should be at WrestleMania. And I do agree that she's going to be at WrestleMania. I think the reason why we didn't see her at the Netflix premiere is because they didn't really need to put her into a program before WrestleMania. So now they could put her on a WrestleMania show and then begin a new program. And that brings us to our final topic, ladies and gentlemen. Rey Mysterio has been injured. Now the real question is, will the match continue? Last night on SmackDown, we saw Mysterio team up with Dragon Lee and Rey Fenix in a 6-man tag match against American Made. Absolutely phenomenal match. Phoenix picked up the win for the group, but the celebration, it didn't last long because Mysterio was helped to the back of the locker room by 2 WWE staff members. It looked like he got hurt during a move. One of the guys from American Made, I think it was Julius or somebody, pulled him out of the ring. He basically did not look good. It did not look good. Now, what's really strange here is Rey Mysterio. There is footage everywhere. Rey Mysterio being helped to the back, having a hard time walking on his own. A lot of people are believing that maybe Rey Mysterio will not, in fact, be able to wrestle at WrestleMania. WWE has yet to confirm this. WWE is actually still advertising the match against, with Rey Mysterio and El Grande Americano. But if Rey Mysterio is not able to compete, I think the easy answer is, hey, let Rey Fenix go out there because he got eliminated by Chad Gable, or excuse me, El Grande Americano in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. And this would actually allow Rey Fenix to be given a singles match at WrestleMania, let him go out there and wrestle El Grande Americano. And then what's really cool is you could actually have Rey Fenix win the match, let him get a massive singles win at WrestleMania, and then what you do from right then and there, and this is the best part, you let Chad Gable versus Rey Mysterio, excuse me, not Chad Gable, El Grande Americano versus Rey Mysterio at Backlash, mask versus mask. I think that would be the right way to set it up. If Rey Mysterio is unable to compete, this would be the audible that I call. It's the audible that makes the most sense, and you get to put Rey Fenix very quickly on the WrestleMania card and allow him to shine. I think that's the right way to go about it. Rey Fenix would be awesome replacement, and you hate to see this because we all, I think most people kind of agree that Rey Mysterio and El Grande Americano is going to be a fun match to watch. We'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys click subscribe. I'll keep you updated. Don't forget to watch all the live coverage, TikToks, all that good stuff. We out here, baby. Happy WrestleMania week.